As long as you are in America KKK, they are not gonna let us have this Hollywood game without a war.
You ever notice how the culture's loudest voices keep getting smaller and smaller? I'm talking height, presence, the whole package. Welcome to Rank Mogul, where we separate the crown from the clown and pull receipts like they owe us rent. Today we're talking about industry plants. Not the leafy kind you water, but the psychological kind they feed us to keep control. Meet the 3Ks, Kai Cenat, Kevin Hart, Kendrick Lamar. Streaming, comedy, music, all carefully chosen, curated, and promoted to lead the culture. Or should we say, to contain it. These brothers are everywhere. Kai got your kids jumping on couches, Kevin's in every movie where The Rock isn't playing himself, and Kendrick out here dropping cerebral riddles over flute beats once every 6 years. But why these three? Why are they the faces of black expression in mainstream entertainment? Is it just talent, or is there a formula? Because let's be real, it's starting to feel like the casting call was looking for short, non-threatening, high energy, safe for corporate America. Sprinkle in some black excellence seasoning, wrap it in a Gucci hoodie, and boom, a brand new leader of the culture. The real question is, who's doing the choosing? And why does the archetype always look the same? Let's break it down. Let's meet the 3Ks. Not the clan, calm down, but the carefully curated kings of culture, Kai Cenat, Kevin Hart, and Kendrick Lamar. Different lanes, same blueprint. Kai Cenat, the streaming sensation. Twitch and YouTube's golden child. High energy, goofy, always relatable. He's your favorite cousin if your cousin never challenged anything serious and just danced, pranked, and screamed into a webcam all day. He went from bunk beds to billboards. But ask yourself, what message is being amplified? And who does it benefit? Next up, Kevin Hart. Mr. Box Office. Mr. Workout. Mr. I can laugh at my pain but not take a stance on anything too real. He made the jump from comedy clubs to Hollywood boardrooms without ever shaking the table. Kevin stays in pocket, literally and politically. He's funny, fast-talking, and fits in any corporate lunchroom like a bottle of water with a smiley face on it. And then there's Kendrick Lamar. The lyrical acrobat. The Pulitzer Prince. He's conscious. But controlled. Deep. But distant. He'll give you bars about systems of oppression, but never name the system. Kendrick is the intellectual hoodie you throw on when you want to feel woke without getting kicked out the group chat. Artful? Absolutely. Radical? Let's not kid ourselves. Now pause. Look at all three. Notice anything? Small. Safe. Sanctioned. They're all the size of your little cousin at Thanksgiving, and they all get treated like giants. Not because they disrupt anything, but because they don't. And here's the kicker, their names all start with K. You can't make this up. Kai. Kevin. Kendrick. 3Ks moving the culture forward. Or are they steering it into a padded, pre-approved box? Because it's not just about talent. It's about packaging. And the package is always the same, small enough to not scare the room, big enough to fill the screen. Coincidence? Or conditioning? Keep watching. It gets deeper. Let's take it back. Way back. Before Kai, Kevin, and Kendrick, the blueprint was already laid out. The industry's been running this play for 100 years, just changing the names on the jersey. Step and fetch it. Real name Lincoln Perry. The first black actor to become a millionaire in Hollywood. And how did he do it? By playing the slow-talking, lazy, shuffling fool. White audiences loved it. He was funny, lovable, and most importantly, not a threat. He wasn't allowed to be smart, strong, or serious. He was the original prototype of the harmless black man served up for mainstream comfort. They gave him the bag, and took the dignity with it. Fast forward. Sammy Davis Jr., one of the most talented performers to ever touch a stage. He could sing, dance, act, play instruments, the whole package. But Sammy wasn't just performing on stage, he was performing for survival. Tap dancing his way through white approval. He had to smile through slurs, jokes, and backhanded praise, just to be allowed in the room. He wasn't just an entertainer, he was an ambassador of acceptability. A black man made palatable, even when the flavor was forced. Then came the 80s and 90s. Enter Gary Coleman. Emmanuel Lewis. Steve Urkel. Physically small black boys pushed as pop icons. Gary Coleman's catchphrase? What you talkin' 'bout, Willis? It was cute. Harmless. He never grew up, literally or symbolically. Same with Webster. Same with Urkel. They were lovable nerds, clumsy and awkward, and never the hero unless it was by accident. These weren't just roles. They were safety valves. Media strategies. Take the most digestible version of blackness and push it to the front of the line. The message was clear: big black men were dangerous. Small black men were marketable. Strong made them nervous. Silly made them money. It wasn't about representation, it was about containment. If you can't erase blackness, shrink it. If you can't ignore it, infantilize it. Give the people blackness they can laugh at, but not be challenged by. Respect, but only with conditions. This ain't new. The industry didn't just start picking these types. They've been grooming the same archetypes since film was in black and white. The only thing that's changed is the Wi-Fi speed. So before you crown today's stars as revolutionary, ask yourself, are they breaking the mold, or just fitting into the next version of it? Keep watching. The pattern's just getting started. An industry plant is not someone who just blew up fast. It's someone who looked like they came up the hard way, but really had a cheat code from the jump. Behind every overnight success is usually a boardroom full of executives who already picked their star. It's not a glow-up. It's a rollout. Now let's talk about Lyor Cohen. He didn't just stroll into YouTube for the free Wi-Fi. This man built careers out of thin air. Jay-Z. DMX. Now? He's the gatekeeper of the biggest platform in the world. And you think your views just aren't hitting today? No. Your content is getting throttled like bad Wi-Fi during a storm. If you're not one of the chosen, the algorithm turns into a brick wall with glitter on it. This is not conspiracy. It's strategy. The internet was supposed to be the Wild West. But Lyor and his crew figured out how to put up toll booths and velvet ropes. They push who they want, when they want, how they want. If your content gets too hot without approval, that shadow ban hits harder than a Mike Tyson uppercut. And guess who floats to the top? Creators with the right look, the right tone, the right size, and most importantly, the right silence. Don't challenge systems. Don't speak too loud. Be fun. Be chaotic. But never be dangerous. The more unthreatening you are, the bigger your check. Let's bring it back to Kai Cenat. Twitch star, YouTube beast, now brushing shoulders with Kevin Hart and LeBron, popping up on Netflix, doing Madison Square Garden events like he's a rap legend. You really think that's all organic? He's entertaining, sure. But the machine is behind him now, and they want you to believe he's still just one of the guys. Meanwhile, they're airdropping him into boardrooms you've never even seen. Kai didn't get greenlit overnight. But when the machine decided it was his turn, they hit the gas and never looked back. And now, every little kid wants to be him, while the puppet masters rake in the real views, the real dollars, and the real control. It's the playbook. Manufacture a star. Make it look like magic. Then sell the illusion to the masses and make them feel like they can be next, too. But unless your number's been called, you're just another background actor in their movie. Why does this archetype work so well? Why does the industry keep rolling out the same model like it's a McDonald's value meal, fun-sized, funny, and safe? Because it works. It works for white corporate America. It works for brands. It works for people who want to say they love black culture without ever having to deal with black truth. See, when you're a 5-foot-something bundle of jokes and good vibes, execs don't feel threatened. They feel entertained. You're not challenging the system. You're giving the system a standing ovation. You're easy to fund, easy to sell, easy to pitch in a meeting without making anyone shift uncomfortably in their seat. These archetypes are palatable. Not powerful. Approachable. Not confrontational. They're the answer to every marketing department's dream: representation without resistance. Culture without critique. Just enough blackness to get applause, not enough to get people asking real questions. Let's be honest. Kendrick Lamar might have bars, but he's packaged like a philosopher monk who won't raise his voice. Kevin Hart is the friendliest billionaire you'll ever meet. Kai Cenat? He's a 5 feet 6 inches internet gremlin running around screaming, harmless as a puppy with a camera. These are not the types that challenge power. They distract from it. Compare that to the ones who did push back. Dave Chappelle left $50 million on the table when he realized they were laughing at him, not with him. Colin Kaepernick got exiled from a $1 billion league for kneeling quietly. Malcolm X didn't get a Nike deal. He got surveilled. Fred Hampton didn't get on SNL. He got erased. So the industry builds its champions from templates that won't fight back. They take the edge off. They sand down the resistance. They give you sugar when what you need is medicine. The funny, small, safe black guy becomes the bridge between cultures, without ever shaking the bridge. He becomes the translator, the mascot, the tour guide. He's on your TV, your billboard, your podcast, your algorithm. He's everywhere, Because he's not dangerous anywhere. That's why this model gets funded. That's why it's repeated. That's why every decade gets its new batch of pre-approved personalities to lead the charge, as long as the charge doesn't lead anywhere too real. The playbook hasn't changed. Just the faces. And the minute one of them grows out of the role or speaks a little too loud, they swap them out and slide in a new one with better teeth and more brand deals. Because this isn't about talent. It's about control. It's not about hating on the 3Ks. Kai Cenat, Kevin Hart, Kendrick Lamar, they're talented. They worked hard. They play their roles well. But let's not get it twisted. The issue isn't them. It's the machine behind them. The system that handpicks who gets the spotlight and who gets shadow banned. Who gets the red carpet and who can't even get monetized. Who gets to be the face of the culture and who gets erased from it. This is how influence is managed. This is how power shapes perception. They've been doing it since the original 3 Kardashians popped up with a camera crew and a dream, laying the blueprint for a new era of surgically packaged icons. And now? We got a whole new generation of industry-crafted avatars, Sexy Red, Lotto, Meg Thee Stallion, all following that same Kardashian production model. Loud, curated, chaotic, and profitable. It's the same script with a new cast. And while some of them may be in on the act, a lot of us are still clapping for illusions. That's the danger. Don't fall for the packaging. Pay attention to who's being chosen to speak for you. Who's getting the mic, and who's getting muted. Who's getting a platform, and who's getting played. Because if you don't start questioning the system, you'll keep cheering for the characters, and never notice the strings.